Right now, an FDA advisory committee is discussing Johnson & Johnson's request for an emergency use approval for its vaccine. If it's cleared, Johnson & Johnson will become the third vaccine approved in the U.S. The FDA reported earlier this week that the shot offers strong protection against the worst COVID-19 outcomes. Johnson & Johnson says it could vaccinate up to 20 million people by the end of March. If and when the committee votes on the vaccine, we'll update you right here on KMBC 9 News. Missouri is about to open up the vaccine process to another 500,000 people, but is the state ready? KMBC 9's Michael Mahoney has the story.
Governor Mike Parson says it's good news. The fight against the pandemic's at the point where they can start vaccinating Tier 3, 550,000 more people.
Ready to go.
But Kansas City Health Director Rex Archer worries vaccination data is still too thin. I think we need to be walking into Tier 3 a little bit more cautiously. Then there's the charge the Parson administration is vaccinating more rural Missourians.
And the last thing we need is to be there's some kind of divide between rural Missouri and urban. And that is just not true.
They divided Missouri by the 9 highway patrol districts for vaccination. Kansas City is in Troop A, which is getting 20% of the vaccine for 23% of the people. Now, the vaccination rate in Kansas City, however, is not close to 20%. But in other parts of Troop A, Lafayette County, 13%, that's above the state average, 14.7 in Pettis, and Saline at 18.1 is among the highest in the state. The chief medical officer at St. Mary's Medical Center says a modern vaccination has never been done before.
So the fact that there were some hiccups, I'll call them, here and there are not surprising.
And Liston is confident that adding the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will improve the supply problems in Missouri as they add another 500,000 people to the vaccination list. Michael Mahoney, KMBC 9 News.
Tier 3 begins March 15th. It includes teachers, child care workers, and grocery store employees. Platte County expects to have 1,700 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine next week. Right now, the health department is still prioritizing people over the age of 70. People are asked to sign up on the health department's website if they haven't already. Schedulers will then reach out to people to set up a time to get vaccinated. Clay County will have clinics next week as well. It's for people who have filled out an interest form with the Public Health Center. Appointments are required for this. The clinics are at Cerner on Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So far, Clay County has vaccinated 10,000 people. Johnson County is making it easier for people to get the second dose of the vaccine. Starting today, it will automatically schedule a second dose appointment 3 weeks after the first dose. It will be at the same time and location for people who get vaccinated from now on. And this is a look at the vaccination rate in Kansas and Missouri, according to the CDC. In Kansas, 185,000 people have been fully vaccinated. That accounts for 6.4% of the population. In Missouri, it's 379,000 people. That's 6.2% of the population. In Kansas City, Missouri, Hispanic and Latinx residents are more likely to get hospitalized or die from COVID-19. KMBC 9's Bianca Beltran spoke to the mayor about vaccinating people who have been disproportionately impacted by this pandemic.
Hola a todos. Soy el alcalde Quinton Lucas.
Messages like this and billboards are part of an effort to reach Hispanic and Latinx Kansas Cityans.
We have done a poor job of getting testing out, and vaccinations have not kept up to pace, particularly in the Latinx community. And that isn't just compared to white Kansas Cityans, also compared to Black Kansas Cityans.
Information is one step. Improving access is another.
I can speak till I'm blue in the face, and I can do it in Espanol, and I can do it in English, and whatever else. But the real way we should do it is to make it a big, clear, obvious, easy type of thing.
The city is partnering with Walmart and the YMCA to provide vaccines to eligible people in communities with the lowest life expectancy, a disparity so stark it can be illustrated on a map.
Our goal was to say, how can we get to those zip codes where we see the greatest health disparities between the people who live there and wealthier people in Kansas City? Where can we get to the zip codes where you have not coincidentally, the highest numbers of Black and brown persons represented in our communities? And how do we make the calls to get people to know what's going on?
Bianca Beltran, KMBC 9 News.
Eligible residents will be contacted by the health department to receive those vaccinations from Walmart. KMBC 9 News is working to answer your vaccine questions. For the latest vaccine news, to learn when you qualify and tips for signing up, just go to kmbc.com/vaccine.